Okay, take two. Let's see if this is any better. These comments will appear here. Well, no, they won't. Oh, good, a comment. Hey, Dina. Hey, Justin. Oh, God, I'm so relieved. Okay. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. It does, okay, it looks better and I can see you. So, yay. Hey, Pixie. Hey, Nancy. Phew, that was scaring me. Scared me. It's there, yes. I'm so glad. Can y'all hear me okay? Let me see if I can get you over here so I can see the comments. Nope, I can't. Okay. Round two. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, I'm so glad that that worked. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Patty. Hey, Lori. Hey, Deb. Hey, Sophie. Good, Rebecca. I'm glad you're back. Glad people have come back. Hope everybody's doing great, too. Okay, Justin, did you want to come on and tell people about next week? You said something about that. If you do, and if there's a doorbell, ring it, and I'll let you in. You can hear me. Okay, that's great. Hear me perfectly. I'm so glad you can see my hands. So I need to work down here. Okay, good to know. Okay, good. Hey, Carolyn. Okay, and Kathy's here. I can see comments. I can. I'm so happy about that. I hadn't seen comments in 3 days. So I'm glad they're here. Hey, Cal Ruth. Hey, Vicki. Hey, Sherry. I'm doing fine. A little frustrated, but that's par for the course these days. Hey, Carla. Okay, tonight we're going to be making the little gnomes, if I can find out what I did with her. This is kind of a prototype. I'll come at the end. Okay, good. Okay, this is a little girl I made waiting, and she's a prototype because I use beads for the feet, for those of you who don't have shoes. And, I have different ways we can do this. Deep breath and everything will be okay. I hope so. Thank you, Marilyn. How are you? Okay, so this is what we're going to be making, is this little thing. And if you don't count, if you go up to here, then she's about 7 or 8 inches tall. But if you just go to where she'd be if she just had a hat on, then she's about 6 inches tall. So she's a little. So the beads are cute. The problem is with the beads is she would stand up, sort of, but then she kept falling over. So I put her on this little piece of wood. And she's kind of a prototype, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you another way to make the beads, the shoes tonight that you can do if you don't want to buy the little sneakers, like this. So I'm going to be making 2 gnomes, and I'm probably doing them kind of simultaneously because some people didn't have the Dollar Tree rollers to make the arms, so I figured out how to do that. And so I'll make one the way I usually make it, and then I'll make another one that has the workarounds for the legs and feet and the arms. So we're going to try it both ways and hope for the best. So I also wanted to show you that if you can't find, this is the size cone you needed. And I told somebody wrong. Hey, Mary. Hey, Vicki. She is cute, isn't she? I'm going to keep her just to show, because somebody asked me last night, what a little looked like, and I didn't have any because I'd sold them all. So her I'll keep. This is the size cones that I use when I do them on a cone. And I told somebody wrong who said, is it the diameter or... You got that one, okay. Is it the diameter or the height? And I thought it was the height, but it's the diameter. It needs to be 2 inches. So I got that wrong, and I didn't mean to, and I'm sorry. Don't know what I was thinking, but y'all, I'm old, and I have senior moments, so maybe that was it. Okay, I'm gonna put her aside for a minute. But if you don't have a cone this size, you can get a cone, the next size up, and then you can just measure. I just measured how long this one was, and then you take a knife with a serrated edge and you cut it. You cut it, and it won't. I can pretty much guarantee it won't be even, or flat on the bottom. But that's okay. Real deal. But it's not the easiest thing to do, but it can be done. So if you have a bigger cone, just measure off something. Where's my tape measure? There it is. If you don't have the smaller gnome, then you can just measure off 4 inches from the top of the cone, whatever cone you have, and cut it there. So, and you just keep going around until you get it. So you have one. It's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. I do need a styrofoam cutter, but not the knife. I'm sorry, I don't have a styrofoam cutter, and that worked. She's a little short, but that's okay. And I'm not going to use it anyhow. But that's what you can do. I do need the styrofoam cutter. I don't have one, but I'll try to find one. Okay, so you have your cone. The first thing you do with any gnome is you make the feet and legs. And for this one, are people on here that need to know how to do the workaround? But for this one, I'm going to use these little sneakers because they're so cute. And they're kind of a pain because they just have one lace. And you have to take it out all the way down because you've got to be able to open up the shoe to get the glue in there in the leg. I'll show it to you this way, and then I'll show it to you the other way. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to take the lace all the way out. Or at least I don't. But you do need to unlace it all the way. And I don't have my rocks over here either, but y'all, these little gnomes are so lightweight that they really don't need a lot of weight on them. What size are the corks? The wine corks are fine. Now I have found since I said the corks, when I was working on my workarounds, I found that it's really a lot easier to use the Dollar Tree rollers. And so that's what I'm going to show you. Okay, so you just take the lace almost all the way out and you open up the shoe. And like I say, it's a real pain to do, but lacing it up is even bigger pain. But they're cute. They are so darn cute. In their Amazon cart as you speak. Okay, you have those shoes too. They really are. They're cute shoes, and they look cute in the gnomes. The wine corks don't go in the sneakers. I'm going to show you that. And actually, I may not even use the wine corks because the Dollar Tree roller is easier. So if you're a Dollar Tree roller, I'll show you how to do it, but I'm probably not going to do it because you have to cut the corks down to a size, and they're not the easiest thing to cut. And I'm all about being as easy as possible to get the same result. I don't even have big fingers, and I have trouble getting these things out. Okay, so you've got your shoes open. Now, what you want to do is open it up and let me get my rocks. Now, I don't have any rocks at the moment, but I do have these little things right here that I found at a thrift store. And I'm just going to put one of those in the bottom of each shoe and push it all the way up to the toe. If it'll fit. It's not going to fit. Great. Okay, so it's not going to fit. And I don't have any rocks, so we're going to hope she stands up. That's what we're going to do. Okay, you got your shoe open. If you've got little rocks that you can put down and push them all the way to the front, Elaine, they'll probably work. They'll probably work. You know, these shoes are a little bit too big for the little gnome, but that makes them cute. And doll shoes will be a little bit too big for them, but that's okay. That's part of what makes these little gnomes cute. The cutest ones I made had shoes that were about that long, and I cracked up every time I saw them. Stuffed with cotton. Well, the glue will pretty much take care of that. I don't know whether the wooden balls will fit or not, but I'm just going to wing it. Now, a penny's not going to fit in there. This little thing right here is smaller than a penny, and it's not going in. So we're just not going to worry about it, because they're very, very lightweight, and I don't know for a fact that you need it. So, okay, you want a piece of wire about that long, and it's for those of you who, yep, Dina, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wing it. No pressure here. We love you and are just here for learning and all is well. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. But you want your wire. This is about 6 inches long, and that's probably a little too long, but I'd rather be too long than too short. You know, let me get my pliers. So you cut one of these for each shoe. And I'll just cut one. I don't usually measure, but aquarium gravel would work really well, and I keep meaning to buy some, Mary, and I just keep doing it. Love what? I don't know what you love, but that's okay. I just cut my wires about the same length. And then you take one wire and if you have needle nose pliers, that helps, but you just are going to make a little coil. Just hook your pliers or the wire into the pliers and make a little coil. And I go around twice, and that's enough. So I have something that looks like that. And when you have that, then you put your pliers, you clamp your pliers over the coil, and you just turn the wire straight up, or straight as you can get it, straight up like that. So it looks like that, only straight. And you want this to be as flat as it can be. So you might have to play with it a little bit. Okay, you see? Is everybody with me on that? Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Y'all stop me if I go too fast. Or try to speed me up if I go too slow. But nobody's saying anything right now. Got it. Okay, thank you, Lori. And you just do the same thing with the other. And your coils are probably not going to look just alike, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, and you might have to take your pliers and I don't know if you can see this, but this one right here is a little bit lower than that, so all you have to do is take your pliers and push them to, you know, so they're together. Okay, and then you again clamp your pliers over that and you pull this straight up, or as straight as it's going to get. And you try to make it as flat as you can. So, okay, now this part right here is what's going to go down in the back of the shoe. Actually, I'd put it more in, yeah, put it in the back, you know, toward the back of the shoe. And when you get it in, you hear, okay, good. When you get it in, then you just take your glue tool and you just start squirting glue in there. Because you want that covered real good. Actually, squirt a little glue in there and then put it down. So you know you have glue under it. And you want the glue all around it. Now you don't want to fill it up so high that it comes out through the lace holes. And since I don't have rocks, I'm going to be sure I get it squirted up in the toe of the shoe, because I do want some weight on here, a little bit of weight anyway. It's moved around. It'll move around on you, but it's okay. You can put it back. Now when we get the laces done up, we will put some more in, but right now I'm just going to put this aside and let it dry and hope it stands up straight-ish. Okay. Now this is just one way. I've got 3 or 4 different ways to make these things. The coil is facing toward the toe, yes. Wait, my daughter is, but not making. My daughter had surgeries being needy. I'm sorry. I hope she's okay, Michelle. But, you know, this will be on replay, so you can always see it later. Okay. And once the glue sets, we can straighten this up a little bit more so it's not curving like that. But for right now, we just want it coming straight up out of the shoe. We want it straight up here. And we do the same thing with the other shoe. We squirt some glue in the toe. That's what I should have done first on the other one and didn't. Now, sequencing is not my strong suit. I will tell you that right now. So sometimes I have to go back and work around something I've already done. Okay, so I've got some glue in the bottom, so I'm putting this in and then covering it up with the glue. I just want to be sure to get it behind the shoe too. Okay, and then I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. And while that's drying, I'm going to find out where I put my material. And, oh, I can't wait to use that hat. Okay, I've got this material. This is going to be the dress because I love purple. And I don't mind purple and yellow together. So this is going to be what I put around her legs, you know, to wrap them. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, before I forget to do this, because we don't want her to look like she's going commando. We'll do it out of yellow. On the one I just did on the prototype, you can see, if you look up her dress, you can see the styrofoam, and we don't really want that. So it's another reason that she's just going to stay here with me. But to avoid that, all you have to do is put a little glue on your styrofoam cone. You know, this won't go through quite as many glue sticks as the big one, but it does go, you know, it does go through because you want your gnome to stick. You can just put some glue down and put it on your fabric, and as soon as it sticks, you can cut it out, and voila, she's got underwear on. They are adorable. No commando. No, we don't want our little girls going commando. That's just not right. They're too little. So when that glue dries a bit, then you can, if you can find your scissors, you can okay. Y'all, I had everything organized, and then I went and did something else, and things rearranged themselves while I was gone. You know, those darn gnomes came in and took my scissors. Oh no, there they are. And I like these little scissors, but you can just cut around the cone so that, you know, just, you know, when we do pants, you know, that takes care of it, but I wasn't thinking about the little girl not having any underwear on. So you just cut around it, and you'll have some extra. You just trim it off. And really nobody's going to see that. It just covers up her private parts, or lack of saying. She doesn't really have any private parts. Let me get this back up, okay? Alright, so let's see if these are dry. Okay. Alright, now if you had a cork, if you're using corks, and if you have an extra, just one roller, Dollar Tree roller thing, you don't have to use a cork at all, because these are a little bit difficult to deal with. Because you want them to be sort of the same size. Well, okay. Oh, I'm going to calm down in a minute, but I'm nervous. You know, I'll have to admit I'm nervous. You can see my dining room right now. You think all but organized, but all the piles are now in chaos. Yeah, I don't know how that happens. Okay, I'm just going to try to cut this one down a little bit so it's about the same size as that one, because you want to, if you're going to use corks, you want it to be about the same height. Okay. All right, now if you're going to use them, well, oops, it's out over here. The easiest way I found to get a hole in them, just this family doing great. Thank you, Vicki. Lori, why would you want to be on your best behavior? I know you were talking to Peggy, and I mean, well, now that I said it was a pain, it's going to go right on there. You think you're no more nervous than I am. So, anyway, you're just putting a hole in the cork so that it'll fit down over the shoe. But it's big. So what I have found is that if you, of course I didn't leave room, if you take a Dollar Tree roller take a Dollar Tree roller, you take the wire out of it, but you're going to put the wire, well no you're not. Take the wire out of it and then you cut it to the length you want. And this will, okay, now here's what I did wrong. Sparkly underwear. Needed attention after the last group. Okay, well see, I missed the comments. I was too busy watching, trying to figure out. This will go down there, but if you're going to use a roller, then what you need to do is move your wire up a little bit. And I didn't do that, but I'm going to cut this off. And you know, these things don't have very long legs. So you just cut two little pieces off your roller. And you want them to be the same length. And then you can just fit your roller down over the shoe. And we might be able to get it. Okay, see, I told you sequencing was bad. Because we need to lace up the shoe, and I didn't do that. Sequencing is bad, but sequencing is everything. You just stick your tongue back down in there, and I never can get them to fit back in the way they came out. Y'all, this is the hardest part of doing these little things. Unfortunately, I don't remember what it looked like. Okay, so this goes. Okay, you do it over to the one across, and then you go inside and go into the hole above the one that has the last lace in it, if you can get to it. If you don't have it covered up with glue, you can do that. Fortunately, I covered mine up with glue. And now I've got to get the glue out. All right, I'm not talking, I'm sorry. You already glued the laces, so I can't get that, and well, we're not going to now because I don't think we can get it in. Are we doing the roller before we put it in the shoe? You can measure it off, but you're not putting it on. If I had done this the way I intended to do it, I would have left room for the roller to go down in the shoe, but I didn't do that. So I'm going to lace it up. And I missed a comment, but somebody glued Somebody glued the... Watching you like, well, I'm really human. I already glued the laces in, so I can't get that, and that's how it's glued. Is that okay? Deb, I don't even understand the question. I already glued the laces, so I can't get that, and that's how it's glued. I don't understand the question. Do you want to come on and show me what you're talking about? Because I don't understand. If you do, ring the doorbell. Will I go back to cork? You know, I can go back to cork. I don't want to go back to cork because I like the rollers better, but I will show you, you know, I will. Because I expect some of you have cork and not dollar-free laces. There it goes. Okay. And then you just go over to this other side. Oh, I've never glued the hole shut before. But I've done it this time. Okay, we're about to finally have one shoe done. Okay, it's not neat and it's not pretty, but it's okay. It's not going to show anyway. So that's one shoe done. And I put some more glue down in there because that last lace is going to want to come out. So I just shoot a little glue down in there, and we have one. And we're going to hope this one goes better. I know some of you can really get in there and you can straighten things up. I have not learned to do that yet. So my things look a little messy. Oh, well, thank you, Teresa. And then you go over here. Yeah, it's a lot easier to lace them back up if you haven't glued over the hole. Okay, that's not right. That wasn't right at all. Sometimes you have to work to really get this last lace down in there and tight. Can y'all hear Frankie barking? That's right. It just looks like the way kids wear their sneakers, but so we're going to call it good. And just put a little more glue down to hold the lace in. Okay. Now at this point, if you're going to use the cork, then you slide the cork over the shoe, and there's a flat side to it, and you want that to be down. Except you don't really. Okay, see this right here is what I've never liked about this process, is that the cork is so big. Which one had the hole in it? The cork is so big that it sticks out the back, and you know, I don't like that. But if you do use a cork, I didn't know what else to do the first time because I wanted to give the legs some body. I didn't even think about the Dollar Tree rollers, which will also stick out some, but not so much. And that's what I think I'm going to use from now on, is the Dollar Tree roller. Very faintly, you can barely hear them. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you can't. I hit that's okay, Laura. You know, that's okay. The way they're situated, everybody hits them by mistake every now and again. So I'm gonna use these. And so the shoes will look like that. Now it's real important at this point to get them so the shoes are on the right side, but I can't tell which is which. Yeah, and y'all, I didn't know about I didn't think about the rollers until I was doing a workaround for if you didn't have shoes. But now I know, and when I do them in the future, I'm going to remember to not to put this up against the back, so the roller can go down in the shoe a little bit. And when I do that, then I will put the roller in before. My son said the same thing, especially when they're in trouble grumbling behind the bathroom door. Okay, yep. Okay, so I think they go that way. It's hard to tell. Anyway, you do want them on the right side. Okay, now you don't want to leave them like that, so I'm going to take a strip of fabric, and I don't measure these. I do have some measurements for you for the dress and the sleeves, but not for this, because you just put your roller down, or your cork, or whatever you're trying to cover, and scissors are right in front of me. I couldn't find them. Move those out of the way. Move that out of the way. Oh, I'm probably confusing the dickens out of you. I'm going to use this one. It's already got a hem. I'm just going to cut this on a fold. On a fold line, and that way I'm not going to measure it that way. But then you put I'm going to hem them while I'm here. You know, I'm just hemming up the bottom edge so that it won't ravel. And for that, you just put a little hot glue down. Now, y'all, when I make my clothes, I usually use fabric glue because I tend to get a little heavy-handed, and you know, with the hot glue, and it makes for lumpy clothes, and I don't like lumpy clothes. And I'm gonna try to make these a little bit longer, and I just put a little glue down on the fabric when I can, and just roll. And when you get to an overlap, then you can put a little bit more glue on your fabric. Well, probably ought to cut it off. Those blue scissors are not fabric scissors. And I think while I'm at it, I'll just cut this off too. There. And then you can put a little glue on the end piece here. And I probably should hem that, but it's not going to ravel. If you put the glue right on the end, it's not going to ravel. And the seam is going to be in the back, so nobody will see it. But if you want it to be perfect, well, perfecter, then you just, can hem that up too. Okay, let me see. Y'all with me so far? And when I get these shoes together, I will go back and show you the other way to do shoes. There's a bug in here that's bothering me. Okay. Then you have, oh, there's a hole. Let's go in there. Got one leg done and the other leg done. And they do stick out, but they don't stick out as much as a cork does. And I'm going to leave a little material up here because that's something you can use to glue. Here you do the bottom of the steps. What? Yeah, you do just enough to cover the cork too. You do the cork exactly the same way. Okay, so this is dry, so. And you know what? I think that I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the top of the shoe to hold that down. Just be sure you get your seam in the back. And if you can avoid putting glue directly on the roller, it's a good idea because they will melt. Okay, now, all right, these are going to be a little too tall, so we're going to trim them off just a little bit, not a whole lot. The legs, I use a Dollar Tree roller and no wire. It'll work, I think. We'll see. Probably be fine. I like the wire. It just gives a little bit more. Oh no, it won't. You've got to have a wire because you've got to get something up you've got to have wire to go up in here to hold it on. Would be what? I can't read the rest of that comment. Oh no. You know, if it's a long comment, I can't see all of it. Do you have some wire that you can put down in here? Oh, Sean's here. Hey, Sean. Sean's a pro at these. And when this is over, I'm going to show you some other stuff you can use to make the body that doesn't involve a cone. You know, the wires don't have to be exact, but they need to be pretty close. I can't tell which shoe is which. Okay. Oh, you left the wire in the roller. Yeah, I just put a little bit of glue around the top of the shoe and push the roller down on it. If you can get it in the shoe, then yeah, you can put some glue down there. But if you have, you want your fabric in there too, so the shoe won't melt. Totally messed up on our time tonight. We'll. Uh-oh, what happened? I'm sorry. If somebody has a question, somebody yell at me or something. Okay, then you want to take your cone and put one shoe on one side and just, well, you're going to have to, where's my knife? You are going to have to cut a hole in this cloth because the boat's not going to go through. Hey, Marilyn. So you just want to... You want to make a hole in the cloth. Which shoe is which? Okay, that's on this side. So I really hate the material goes back together real fast, so you can't tell where your hole is. I can't. You want your leg to go roughly in, you know, just to one side of the middle of the cone, and just a little bit. I think I've got self-healing material here. There. It's too far back. You do the same thing on the other side. Okay, before you put any glue in, you want to be sure that the gnome is going to stand up. Boy, I've got her really wonky. You know, I never have a problem with this part, so now of course I'm going to. Okay, well, she'll stand up. You just want to be sure she's going to stand before you glue the legs in there. So you take the legs back out, and you take your glue gun and you just shoot some glue up in the hole. You can find it, yeah. And some will come out the bottom, and that's perfectly okay because that means it'll grab hold of the roller. Just be sure your seam is in the back. And she's still standing up and her feet are on. Now, if we were making pants at this point, we would make her, we would put her, we would have put her pants on before that, but she's not wearing them. So let's see how tall she is. You can make these things as tall as you want to, but, oh, she's a tall girl. She's about 6.5 inches. So she's a tall little, but that's okay. So there we have her. So now we need to get her a dress. With me. It is a cute way to make gnomes. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Looks like a Hershey's Kiss with legs. Well, they do kind of. Okay, y'all, now I usually don't measure, but I knew I was doing this and I knew I'd have questions, and I can make a picture of these and I can send it to you, but I've got the measurements that I have here, and for the sleeve and the dress. And actually the one for the dress is also the pattern for the hat. So, you got it on. Y'all tell me if I need to slow down. I can't speed up, but I can slow down. Oh wait, I was going to show you the other one. Okay, if you don't have shoes, then there are two ways you can do it. You can get beads, just little beads with holes in them. Now for these, I just cut down a skewer, that are about the same size, and I put the skewer down there, and I put glue in the hole to hold the skewer in, and mine may have long. It's okay, Teresa. It's your gnome. It can be however long you want it to be. This is bigger than the one that I usually make. See, she's taller than this one, is without the hat. But you just want the bottom to be flat, and it's a little bit harder to get them in with these because they are round, but they will stand up if you work hard enough. So, thank you, Justin. I'm about to not be so nervous, but not quite there. Another way that you can do these, and of course I don't have a bead. Instead of the skewers, you can also use the Dollar Tree rollers, and use this part as your wire, and you'd straighten that out and put, what you're going to do is you're going to cut it off, and you can use a wire. And if I had a bead, I'd show you. You can also, instead of using this wire, this 18 gauge wire, you can use one of these rollers. And I don't know why, if you have the shoes and want to use the shoes, I don't know why you couldn't bend that and use that to put down in the shoe. It's going to walk with a limp. Okay, that's so you can just use Dollar Tree rollers and not use the wire at all, or the 18 gauge wire, which is probably what I will be doing from now on. But you can just coil it around, twice like you did the other one, and fold it up and put that down in the shoe instead. You see what I'm talking about? Yes, save the wire from your rollers. Always do that. And then you cut it off at whatever length you want it to be. And you can also, if you have the beads, and I'll show you on one that's got a real big bead in it, but you can cut this part off and you can put the bead on top of that. Now, to me, that's not as stable as it could be. Y'all are all smart, and you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, and I feel sure you can figure this out. If you're going to use a bead, you really want the coil to be a little bit bigger. And I'm making a mess. Well, okay, don't do that part. use the skewer instead. Jump up here. Definitely watch the replay. Well, good, Sean. I'm glad. But you know how to do this. Hey, Lori. Laura. Everybody's a newbie to this except Sean, maybe. You know, I know's done littles because she directed me to, what's her name? Patty J. Good, who makes littles. Okay, to make the dress, and you know, with the beads, everything is the same except what you want. You know, you put your Dollar Tree roller or whatever down here to make the legs so you can cover it with the thing. Make up because sticks and have kinkles. Yeah. Okay, so you want to cut your fabric on a fold. So first you need to find a fold. And I'm going to use this part because that's kind of a natural hem. Put your fabric down, and the fold line is this line right here. And y'all, I can send you pictures of these, and if you want them, you can have them. And you can make your skirt longer than this if you want to, or you can leave it the same size. But you just put that, you can't see what I'm doing. You put your pattern down on the fold, and you cut it out. And you know, if I was using tissue paper, I'd probably put pins in it, but it's hard to put pins through the cardboard, so I don't. I just try to hold it and hope for the best. And for these, I'm going to use a little bit bigger scissors because I tend to go under. I tend to cut the top piece and not the bottom piece of this. So you just cut around it. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's not going to be exact if you don't have it pinned. I'll give you the dimensions of this in just a second. Okay, so the dimensions are, this is the top of the dress. The line that goes on around the fold on this particular one is 5.5 inches long. This line that goes on the fold is 5.5 inches long. This line over here is, well, they're both 5.5 inches long. 5.5 inches on both sides of this. The top is about a 1/2 inch. I would like for you to, what? Can you show me your pattern when you're done? I want to take a picture. Sure, I can do that right now. And then right along here is 5 1/4 inches. In fact, if you want me to write it clearer, I'll do it right now. Because I don't know if you can see these numbers or not. These are all inches. That's a fold. And the fold's right there. Okay, can y'all read that? Now, if you're making a little boy, I make the shirts the same way, but I just make them a little bit shorter. So if you can see that, or I'll take a picture and post it on here of both of these patterns if you want me to. So let me know when you're ready. You know, I've never measured it before now. Okay. So when you finish, what you have is that. And we're going to hope that goes around her. It does. Okay. So you're going to take your glue tool and just hem up the bottom, and make it as you know, put your glue as close to the bottom as you can, because you don't want a great big old hem, or you might, but I don't. And I have to do this a little bit at a time because the glue gets cold, and then I have to do it again, and you know, what's the point, right? Okay, this is right. Justin's probably finished his already. He's so much faster. You kind of take your time with this because you don't want to burn yourself, and you don't want the glue to get cold before you get to it. So I just do a little bit at a time when I do this. Usually I use fabric glue for this part, but I do it ahead of time and it has time to dry. Get off me. And I don't like the glue strings. Okay, so you got it hemmed up, so it'll look sort of neat. I'm just going to trim that a little bit. And then you put the right sides together, like so. And just run a bead of glue down one side, and again I get as close to the edge of the fabric as I can. If you get too close, it'll come squirting out the side. If you get too far in, your dress ain't gonna fit. And if you take too long, then the glue dries up and you have to start over again. But y'all know all this. Okay, and then you just let that dry. You know, you gotta let your glue set. Otherwise, when you pull it right side up, it'll go. What'd Blake do? Oh, is Blake on here too? Yay, hey Blake. Awesome. I'm excited that everybody's on here, but I didn't expect Blake to be, so that makes me doubly excited. Y'all, he is such a nice man. The 3 men that live in that house are all wonderful. Blake put up with a total stranger for a whole week. Okay, so we're going to let it cool off. And while we're doing that, we can cut out the sleeves. And I have a pattern for that too. And you can either cut it out whole like that, or you can, I just do it folded because that means I just have one sleeve. Yes, please, for the pattern. Okay. So I just do the same thing. And I'll make a picture of these and I will post them so you'll have them. Now, don't do, you have to remember, and I'm saying this, I'm not saying it because I think y'all are stupid, it's because I know I am. The first time I cut these out, I just cut one. And you really have to have 2 sleeves. But I just put it on the fold and get over there. And I cut it out. I like to do it on the fold because if you try to cut 2 pieces, you have to turn. I think you have to turn things so they match up or something. And I never mastered the art of that because I can't sew. Okay, there's one sleeve. Now we'll just make the other one. And sometimes you have to be a contortionist to get it done. So now you have 2 sleeves. Look a lot like the dress, only smaller. Oh, if you want the measurements for the sleeve, the fold line is 4 1/4 inches. The line on the other side is 4 inches. The bottom is 1 3/4. That can't be right. This line should be 2 inches, and the top is 3/4 of an inch. And I'll do a pattern for this too. Hey Mita, you just watching in the hospital? Really, in the hospital a few days? Oh, with your MS? I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you're home now. Okay, we're gonna hem this up the sleeves up the same way we did the other, just as little as you can. The sleeve may end up being too long, but you can always cut it off from the other side. And I should have done just half at a time. Get over there. Okay, see, that's what happens. If you take too long, the glue will get cold. So I'm just going to do half of it at a time. And occasionally I get a little anal, and I've been known to turn the hem up where I want it and iron it before I glue it. So, I hope you're feeling better, my friend. Okay, and then right sides together. Y'all with me still? Yeah, I was just thinking I need to be ironing this too. But I didn't. Sometimes I get a little more anal about it than I do at other times. Get your hem and then right sides together. Okay, so we've got sleeves. All mine have bell sleeves. You think you have it now. Still working on cutting out sleeves. Okay, so I need to slow down, Regina. I can do that. Oh, and Regina and Sophia, I have not done your mystery boxes yet. I want to be sure there's stuff in there that will help you out in this. So I'm hoping to do that. Hey, Sean, I'm glad you're back. You know, it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do these. I didn't mean to cut. Y'all, I almost cut my dress. Sometimes it works to stick needle those pliers in these little things and hold on to it, and then it's easier to turn. And then you can get a paintbrush, and I get kind of a big one so I don't. Okay, so I've got a hole over here. Should have checked this for holes before I started turning it. I did cut the dress, but that's okay. See, I cut it right there by mistake, but it's okay. That'll be under. And I do have a hole right there. So before I smooth it out, I'm gonna Just put a little bit of glue right down where the other glue was and hold it together. Okay. Let that dry. So you don't want to have a hole. You don't want her to have a hole in her dress. Still want it to. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to be sure y'all had things like shoes that are a little hard to find, and then you just put it over her head and pull it down, and she's got a dress on. And you want your seam in the back. It's real important. And see, if you look up her dress now, she's got underwear on, so she's not going commando, so we're happy about that. And I like to go around and put just a little glue, just a little dab on the front, in the back, a little dab in the front, and a dab on each side. And that just holds her dress down when you start fiddling with it to put her arms on. Okay. So she's got dressed in. Y'all, I like yellow and purple. You may not like yellow and purple, but I do. So I don't like turning sleeves. Because they're so little. And it's coming apart. Where's my glue? Come on now, get over there. Okay, usually when I get to this point, if I have something this big, I will just I'll fold one end down and put the glue on that and push it over the other, and it still looks like a sort of finished thing. But the glue dried. Let me get that off. I'll take care of that in a minute. Let me see. The whole sleeve may have done the same thing. Y'all excuse me while I don't talk. Just love the shoes. I love the shoes too. They're cute. They are stinking cute. And I'm going to use a different pair of shoes on the other one, just to show you an alternative. Paintbrush down. You know, I think that needle nose pliers may be a crafter's best friend. Okay, good. Now let me fix this. Okay, to do this, I'm just going to fold down one side, and I'm going to run the glue down that side, and then I'm going to fold it over the other one so it mimics a finished sleeve. If you do it fast enough. If you can do it before the glue dries, maybe I'll put it on this side. Well, it's a mess, but it's my mess, and that's okay. It's my gnome. We're going to hope this one's better. Let me try something else. Sometimes if you get a safety pin, you can just kind of a big safety pin though. Uh-oh. I just dumped my trash can out. No, that's not going to work. Okay, let me back the pliers. Maybe I didn't need to. Maybe I didn't need to do that. Maybe I just need to do that. You know, people who watch me for any length of time know that I spend most of my time picking things up off the floor under the table, because that's where everything goes. I think it was Rebecca that said the other day on her live that one of these days she was just going to make a craft out of whatever she could find under the table. That'd be like a challenge. But I probably have enough stuff under there right now that I could do just about anything I wanted to. Okay. All right, that came apart at the top. And I don't really care about that, so I'm just going to glue it down because that's all going to be up against the body and nobody will see it anyway. Okay, now you take another roller, and for this I use the long, it's a long one. Yeah, I use the long Dollar Tree rollers for this, and I take the wire out. Don't throw it away. You're going to put it back in. Take the wire out, And with this one, I just fold it in half. I don't cut it with my fabric scissors. Excuse me. And I do the same thing with the wire. Just fold it in half. Frankie's not happy, y'all. I can hear him out in the backyard. He is not happy about something. Don't know what. And then I just cut it in half. And try to straighten it out a little bit. And then I put the button back on because I like to leave the buttons on because that gives something for the glue to attach to. Well, you got to straighten it out some, or it won't go back in the hole. Got a bad case of the dropsies going here. Come on now, get on there. Okay. Put that back, and then I put a little bit of glue on the plastic thing. Just put it around a little bit, and I shove the roller down on top of it, and that's going to hold the roller on the sleeve. I'll take off the excess glue, and then I cut, where'd it go? I'm just going to cut another piece of fabric, just another little length of fabric to wrap around the arm. And this could be your arm, I mean, this could be your sleeve. And if you want it to be, you can, but I just cut the fabric and I'm not real particular about it. Just because I don't want the roller to show. I did not do it on that other one. I'm going to do it on this one. And we'll glue up the fabric. Yeah, I'm not going to hem these because it's going to be inside. And then just roll. And when I get to the other side, I'll glue it down. And, oh, just barely made it. Just barely made it. And then I'm just going to glue it. But and I'm not worried about hemming it or, you know, making a finished edge because it's going to be inside the sleeve. And since I said it, cut it so close, I'm just going to do a little bit at a time so I can be sure that I get it. Be sure I get the sleeve covered. I'm not going to. Well, that's okay. It'll be next to her body. Nobody will know. Okay, I would suggest you cut yours a little bit bigger than I cut mine because it does not want to fit. And see, it doesn't quite meet there, but I don't really mind because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut all that off anyway. Yes, I just cut a good bit of that off so that I don't have so much to put up against the body. And put her sleeve on her, or her arm in the sleeve. Oops. And I leave, can you see, I've left a little bit in there because when I put a bead on, of course I don't have my beads in here. When I put the bead on, it'll hold, it'll stick out a little bit. So I want it recessed, so it just sticks out. So it's about, I don't know, about the length of the, it's about a quarter inch recessed in there. It's a dress that I found on a little doll. Okay, Deb, that's fine. Just keep going. Yours isn't great. It'll be fine. It will be fine. I think what I'm going to do, since I put a hole there, I'm going to cut this. Or not. We're going to cut this and expose a little bit of this wire. Cut it a little bit more. And I'm going to do that because the wire has a bend in it, so I'm just going to bend it and stick the wire in a hole up here into the styrofoam so that it gives it a little bit more stability. So see, I have just a little bit of the wire sticking out. And since I so nicely cut a hole in the dress already, I can bend this a little bit. Okay, go the other way. Well, y'all, I messed it up because I've got my... Okay, good. What I want to do is get it so that the seam here is up against the body. And see, this is a mess, but it's okay. I've got a hole already there in the material, so I should be able to just stick her in. Yeah, Rebecca's on here. Say, Joy, you're fine. The replay will be available as soon as this is over, and you can watch it if you want to, or I may just confuse the dickens out of everybody. I don't know. We'll see. So you're going to have to hold it till it dries because there's not a lot of the wire in there. But you can also put glue on the outside and push the roller up against it. Now her arms are a little high, but that's okay. It'll be covered. Everything's going to be covered by the hat and the beard, or not the beard, the hair. Okay, so let's work on this other one. That's what I should have done the first time. Okay, I had another, there it is. Okay, what I'm doing is I put the roller back in, I put the cap back on, and now I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here to hold the roller to the little thingy there. And I know I'm going to cut it off, so I might as well go ahead and do it. You know what? I forgot. Y'all almost let me forget to put her undershirt on. Oh, I feel like I'm boring everybody to tears. I don't know. Are y'all okay? Confused about the arms. Okay, Sharon, how can I help you with that? What's confusing you about the arms? I mean, I'm not surprised something's confusing people about the arms. But, okay, but Sharon said she's confused. So, great. Okay, thank you, but somebody's confused. So, well, I appreciate that, but I know somebody's confused. Do you glue them to the sleeve? Yeah, eventually you do. I mean, yeah, there's enough glue in there to hold it on. Otherwise, if they're not glued to the sleeve, then they're going to fall off. But see, when I put the glue up here, that glued the sleeve up to the dress too. So you don't have to specially glue them, but they do get glued. If that made any sense. Okay, she's overbalanced and she's heavier on one side. I got to get another arm on her. She's going to be falling down all over the place. Okay, let me get. Frankie's going nuts out there. Leaves must be falling or something because he's barking and barking. I hope he's not disturbing y'all. We're going to cut this one a little bit bigger. I didn't like struggling with it. Okay, now we're through with that. You can't see what I'm doing. Again, I put the very edge of the roller of the fabric right up against the button because I don't want to go over the button. Just on the edge. And run the glue up. Now I do arms this way too. I don't know why I chose to do it the hard way this time. And then you roll it, and when you get to the end, you can run more glue up the side and roll it on over. And see, it's not pretty, but it's going to be inside the sleeve, so it doesn't matter. Just let me try to cut the fabric with needle nose pliers. You know, don't do that. It's not going to work. Then you can put it up in there. And we're going to cut that off because it's not going to go to the end. Or if it does, it'll be way too recessed. And this time we're going to do it so the wire is going in the right direction. And we're going to cut. We're going to try to cut a wedge out. Okay, so see, this is the part I want. This is the part I want up against the side. That's where the seam is, and that's where that is. Now, to put the other arm, you want to put it at pretty much the same height as the other one, and pretty much the same place. So that one goes in there. So we want this arm's going to be up high too. So we're just going to cut a slit in the cloth. There, that's better. We're going to push the wire in the styrofoam, or try to. Oh, we're up so close to the top. Come on now. Okay, and see how the glue came out that side? That is going to attach itself to the cloth too. So that will also glue the sleeve in. So you just press it over. Straighten out her arm a little bit. And you put some more glue on the outside and you press it down. And in a minute we're going to put some under the arms and press those down too, but we want to get them attached first, so we're just going to hold it. Yeah, I hope people are going to be willing to post their gnomes too. Y'all did. Well, now on this one, I will have to say the first little I made turned out great. It's probably the best one I made. But most of the time, the first time I do anything, it's not real good. Yeah, I'm hooking the wire into the styrofoam and then gluing it in, yeah. Y'all, where would I find the little Dutchman to make the porcelain shoes? I live in Nashville. Goodness. I don't know. I'd meet Dina found those at an estate sale or a yard sale or a thrift store somewhere. I haven't been able to find them. But I do love the little Dutch shoes. That's but you've already got the little Dutch girl. Now it probably would have helped. Okay, she's you know, her arms are not straight with her feet, but that's one thing that makes these gnomes so very charming. Okay, now I'm going to try to bend this arm down a little bit, and maybe I probably put a little glue right here under her arm just to hold it down. This one. Okay, her sleeve is awfully big. You know, when I wanted this to be good, this is probably not going to be my best effort. All right, while this is drying, let me show you what I've got. If you don't have rollers, then if you don't have rollers that you can use to make the arms, you can just get your 18 gauge wire, you know, this wire, and you can well, I've glued it down, you can't tell, but I put a bead through, I put a wire through the bead and just glued it in, and then I wrapped it with fabric. And it doesn't have to be, this is an old sock, it's just what I had. So thank you, I appreciate that. But this is your padding for the arm. And then when you get ready to attach it, you don't want it to be this long. You cut most of the wire off and you just push it up in the styrofoam cone the way I did. But you probably want these arms to be a little bit lower so you have some cone to stick to. So that's how you would do an arm if you don't have the Dollar Tree. You just wrap the wire. And I put a bead on it, you know, just on the end. Did that make sense? Okay, so I'll just put a little bit of glue under her arm there. And see, this sleeve won't look quite so janky when she gets a bead on there, but I don't have but one bead. Oh wait, I've got these. That's not going to be big enough to stick out. Oh well. Okay, so now we need a beard, a hat, and a nose. Okay, all right, so for her hair, I'm going to use this. Now this comes on a roll, and for the littles, this is probably a good size. You can get it. Well, this is a roll I got in the ribbon section of Hobby Lobby, and if you go on their 50% off, it's 50% of $12, so it's about $6. Please hold up the pattern again. I'm learning life. Okay, this is the dress pattern. Didn't make your dress long enough? Well, we can put a skirt on her. Put an apron on her. She's not long enough, or is your cone bigger than this one? I don't know. Well, Elaine, thank you. I'm glad you're learning. Carolyn, maybe you can bring her own when we're through with this, and we can figure out what to do about that. Is it pulled down all the way so it's over the cone? I guess she's a teenager. Okay, well, maybe we'll put pants on her. So to do this, now I can't tear the beard like Justin can. I can't do it. So I use my little scissors, and I go right up under, I try to go right up under, this one you can't do, wait a minute, may not be able to do it on this. I go under the lining, or yeah, under the lining, but not on top of the fur, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm going to give her a different kind of hair. I got all kinds of hair out here. I'll give her this kind of hair. I know I can do it on that. This came from Hobby Lobby, and I've cut some of it off already, but if you go in the section where the felt is, this is hanging on the wall right next to the felt, and it's about $5, I think. And you may go a dancer, that's right. See, and you don't have fur. You don't have the fur. That's okay, you can use yarn. Yarn works perfectly well. So we want to see how long we want our hair to be. I don't want it to be super long. You know, I'm not putting hair in her back. I'm just, you know, she's going to have pigtails, but you know, well, there'll be some back there. Okay, so here I can go under the fabric, but not over the hair, I hope. Just because I said that, it won't work this time. But I use these embroidery scissors, and I'm just going to go to the halfway point, and then I'm just going to cut up the side. Okay, so you can see where I cut it, and it's still got the fringe thing hanging down. That's what you want. So if you can't tear the fabric and you don't want to use your utility knife all the way across, you can always do it this way. Just be real careful to get under the fabric, but not under the hair. Well, okay, there. Okay, so I got that off, but I still have my fringe here. So, yay, it works. Okay, and now I'm just gonna fold this over. I'm gonna cut about, here's my thing, I'm gonna cut about maybe 1.5 inches of this. I'm going to cut 2 of them because she's got 2 sides to her head. And I want them about the same size. They don't have to be exact. It's a good thing they don't have to be exact because they're not. Not even close to exact. Well, they're close. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in one side. And this is the side that's going to go in the front. And just run a little bit of glue. Well, actually a fair amount of glue up the side. And be real careful, y'all, because you don't want to burn yourself with hair and glue. But just fold it over. And Justin's going to cringe because I'm going to leave this side just bare. I'm not folding it in. Because for one thing, that makes it too thick for the little girl. And I'm going to put that right there so she has a little bit of hair going in the back, but most of it is in front. And it just glued itself to her. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. See, in the front of her, I want it to look like a finished edge kind of thing because I got to get her nose in there. And I'm just going to butt them up against each other. Is what I'm doing. See, it gives her a little bit of hair in the back, which is good. You know, hair in the back is not a bad thing. Yeah, I was going to put, I usually do not put gnome hats on my gnomes because I don't like them. Just cut about 3-inch piece and put on double layer, so that works. 25 yarn works. Usually I put a hat like this on, but I'll show you, and Justin showed you how to make a gnome hat the other night. It's the same thing, just on a different scale. And for the measurements on the hat, I use the same as the dress. Beyond, they're not my favorite thing. So we can put this on her, this little hat, or we can put, well, this is purple, but it's not the right purple. That's about what we've got. Or we could make her a red hat lady. I don't like that one. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think? We've got this hat. Actually, we've got this hat, but I think it's too big. That hat. Or we've got that hat. You have to make a hat. You made a base? Okay. Wonder why I can't respond to Web CBS. I don't know what that means. Okay, Teresa, to make a hat, you put her aside for a minute, because I didn't tell y'all to get a hat. I just said make, and you can make it out of the same material as the dress, or you can make it out of a contrasting thing. So we got a vote for purple and a vote for the straw, big straw. To make the hat, you just use the same pattern that you use for the dress. You know, fold line and everything. And now it doesn't have to be as long as this. You can cut it off anywhere you want to. But I'm going to cut it all the way down. Whoops. And make sure it's on fold. Uh-oh. That's not going to work because, see, that already had some cut out of it. So that's not going to work. So let me get a clean piece up here. Okay, we'll try this again. Put it on the fold. And sorry, I'm having trouble getting situated here, y'all. I think I'm trying to cut my cutting board. Okay, now I said to use the same pattern, and I kind of meant it, but for this other side, I want my hat to curve back a little bit. So I just, oh, goodness gracious, what do I do? What did I do? I just make the turn, and then I just aim at an angle. And when I get close to the top, then I just start turning toward the back. So you end up with something that looks like that. And you hem it. Excuse me, please. You hem it. Goodness gracious. Oh, no, I thought I'd lost people. I just looked at the clock. I saw 11 people and thought, wow, I had bored half the group and they're gone. But that was the time. But we've been at this 2 hours. I thought this was going to be quicker than the big ones, but no. Come on, get over there. Sometimes you just have to stick your fingers in the glue, you know, to get it to work. sometimes you don't get enough. It gets on your fingers but not on the material, and that doesn't help anything. Okay. Then you glue your right sides together. This is probably why I don't like gnome hats, because you have to turn them right side out. Okay, I'm going to start down here. And I'm just going to go a little way because I really want this to stick. And then I'll go a little bit more. And you just go all the way up to the point, and you hold it down. By the time it gets to the point, the glue's cool enough that it won't burn you. What happened to Stacy? Congratulations, Stacy. What'd Stacy do? Oh, you're doing napkins. Okay, good. Yeah, PM me your address. Okay. So that, I'm not seeing any holes in this one. And turn it right side out. Try to turn it right side out. And see, it's going to be longer in the back than it is in the front, and that's kind of what you want. And you take it and you put it on her head. And see, it's longer back there, and then you would glue it in the back a little bit, and then you take your nose and let's see. Here you go. Nope, that's not it. I had a nose. Oh, here it is. You take your nose and you push it right up under the hat, and you glue the hat. Okay. Not sure she's here. Okay. So if that's, was that scroll saw safety? I didn't know that. I don't know her last name. So that's how you would do that. You got it? Okay. So, and we can put this one on her if y'all want to, or we can put that on her. Or somebody liked the purple, somebody liked the straw. I do have a black one over here. Oh, there's a purple one. Yes, you can put a little stuffing in that hat. It would be fine. It'd make it stick up a little better and fill it up a little bit. So yeah, you can put some stuffing up in there, and you can bend it to one side. See, like on, I buried my other one. There she is. Oh gosh, I've got her on the side and got stuff piled on top of her. I've smothered her. But see, I just bent this over a little bit, and you could put a little bell or something up there, or whatever. Hey, Stacy. You can put a bell or a bow or anything you want to up there, and she's perfectly fine. Okay. You don't need, this one's got a little bit of stuffing in it, just to make it stick out. Do they do stars for these? I don't know. I don't know. But y'all are already paying for this, so you don't need to be doing stars. So, okay, so what do you think? I don't like the black. Purple doesn't really match, so it's really going to have to be this one or this one. So tell me what you think. I don't see any. Hey Stacy, I'm doing just great, thank you. I enjoy watching you and with Justin. Y'all are so much fun together. I don't think there are any stars on here. You know, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Y'all are here, y'all stayed this whole time. Hey Crystal, you're fine. Gonna have to watch the replay though, because we're done. This one? Okay. Like the purple, but if you see the purple up close, Michelle, I don't think you'd like it quite as much because it's, I thought I was gonna like it, but it's a blue purple. It really doesn't do much, but I'll use it for something else. Okay, so then all we got to do is put her hat on, and y'all, it's a little bit too big. I'm kind of afraid of. Well, if we glue it down, she'd have to wear it like that. But that'd be okay. Okay, so we'll... Let's see. Okay, so we'll put a little glue. No, it's too big. I can't make that work. So it's gonna be purple. I don't know, or straw. Thank you, Vicki. Or we could do the red, and she could be a member of the Red Hat Club. I don't think that one's quite big enough. Thank you. Stacy, I laughed my head off at y'all. I think that's so much fun. So, y'all vote purple or straw. Purple with a yellow ribbon. Okay, that would probably work. I can get a yellow ribbon and put it up there. Michelle, when you see me, you're going to say, what was she thinking? Okay, well, people say that about me all the time, Michelle, son. Doesn't bother me. Straw, yeah, straw. Or straw with purple ribbon. Oh, that might be better. Okay, let's do the straw with the purple ribbon. And I'll do a purple ribbon later. I don't have one right now, and it's, y'all, we've been here 2 hours. And y'all have been very patient, and I appreciate it. But at some point, I have to get back to her lives. I'm just blushing her up a little bit. And I'm getting it all off on my hand, so none of it will go, none of it's going to go on her. Okay, and I kind of want her nose up higher than her arms if I can get them there. So I'm going to have her hat kind of leaning back. I'm going to get her nose on first. So to put the nose on, you just blush it up. You decide where you're going to put it. And you separate the hair so it doesn't look like she's got a beard. And put glue on the back of the nose. Tend to pluck your beard. Well, I need to pluck my beard. But, yeah, I just still can't believe nobody ever told me I was going to have a beard when I got old. I think that was rude. I actually think it's rude that women have to have beards at all. Okay, so there we have her. And they need to put a little glue back there to hold her hat on. Put some little red flowers on it. It's a little too big though. Okay, so there we are. There's our little girl. And I would love to see it if somebody wants to come on and show me theirs. I know Justin wants to talk about next week a little bit. Yeah, I think she's cute. So we've got these two. And see, this one's considerably taller. Yellow belt around the waist. I could do that. And I'll put some finishing touches on her. Oh, good. I'm glad y'all had fun. I'm glad you had fun. Some other ways to make them. I do make one that's basically a sock gnome. We'll probably do that one next time. Oh, and I was going to show you these other shoes. Put them somewhere safe. Oh, here they are. Okay, I made these little shoes out of polymer clay, and all you do is you get your clay and you smush it together, and you leave a hole, and that's where you put your wire. And then you, well, I had these baked in, but they came out. You put your glue on top of that, and then if you saw the witch's shoes, this is how the witch's shoes were made. And I'm so glad y'all had fun. Okay, does anybody want to show me theirs? Or Justin, are you still here? Y'all, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. So, is Justin still on here? Or did they put him to sleep? Thank you. She's a sweetie, and I like this one too. They'll probably both stay with me, but you would. Okay, Mita. Let me see if I can send you an invitation. Thank you, Sean. Where's Mita? Okay, Mita. I sent you an invitation. Oh, you'd love to see one done. Thank you, Nancy. I'm glad y'all had fun. The guest declined. Okay. I thought you said you didn't want to come. I thought you said you did want to come. I'm sorry. Need to work on mine before she's camera ready. Okay. Yeah, I would love for y'all to post them on this page and on my group page, which is Crafting Fun with the Old Woman, and Justin's, which is Crafts, Crafts, and More Crafts. Well, I want to see them anyway. I want to see what they look like, and it doesn't matter. Sharon wants to join you on video. Okay, so approve. Push the button, approve. Send invite. You lost the sound. Oh no. No, 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 no. Is it not back? Well, there's no point. Can you hear me now? Is the sound back? You hear me? Okay, good. I must have silenced myself. You can hear me. Okay, it had turned down. Okay, Sharon. Uh, what happened? Let me try you again. See if I can find Sharon. Sharon, I don't see you. You're going to have to ask. No sound all of a sudden. Still no sound. Y'all try going out and coming back in and seeing if that helps. Because it's turned up all the way. Well, you can't hear me say go out and come back in. Well, so much for that. Okay, if y'all want to stay here, I'm back. You still don't hear anything. Okay, so who's that? Okay, let's see. Let's get Justin in here. Send the invite. Janice, you have no sound. Peggy, some people have sound, some don't. Yeah, go out and come back. If you don't have sound, go. Okay, well, he went away. He's coming back. Rebecca, I'll get you in just a minute, okay? Oh, Lordy. Go back and come back in. Okay, good, Rebecca. Good, Deb. I can't hear Justin. I can't even see Justin. Still nothing. Says he's going to come back. Okay, he's going to come back. Nothing to me. Oh, you can't hear me. No sound for me. On your phone, you couldn't. Somebody who can hear, type in there, go out and come back in. On your computer, I could hear you. I have sound. Some do, some don't. Oh, good, Teresa. Can't hear even after going out and coming in. No sound. Oh, crap. Sent request. Well, I didn't get it. Sent you an invite. Bye-bye.